When George and Amal Clooney first tied the knot, it felt like the world was watching a modern-day fairy tale unfold. George, the beloved bachelor with a reputation for being a charming playboy, found love in Amal, a brilliant and accomplished human rights lawyer. Their wedding in 2014 was a star-studded affair, and they seemed to have the perfect life together. But now, a few years later, news of their shock divorce has rocked Hollywood. It's hard to believe that this power couple, who once seemed inseparable, is now facing one of the most talked about breakups in the world. And while the media has been flooded with rumors, accusations, and speculation about what went wrong, George Clooney has remained largely silent, until now. His recent words about Amal have left fans around the world reeling. What does George really think about his ex-wife, and how has he been coping with their split? In an emotional interview, George finally opened up about the breakup, revealing a side of him that many of us haven't seen before. The interview, which took place on a high-profile talk show, was intense and raw. Clooney, known for his usually polished and charismatic demeanor, looked visibly shaken as he discussed the impact of the divorce on his life. "I never imagined I'd be here," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I thought Amal and I would grow old together, fighting for causes and living our best lives. But life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, and sometimes, those curveballs are too much to handle." For the first time, George admitted that the separation from Amal has been one of the most painful experiences of his life. "Amal is an incredible woman," he continued. "She's brilliant, she's strong, and she's done more for humanity than most people will ever accomplish in their lifetime. The fact that I couldn't make it work with someone like her, it hurts. It really does." Despite their divorce, George made it clear that Amal still holds a special place in his heart. "We didn't just share a life together. We shared a mission. Amal has been a force for good in the world, and I'll always be proud of the work she's done." George also spoke about their shared passion for human rights and justice. The two of them were a power duo, working side by side to make a difference. Their partnership was about more than just love, it was about a common vision for the world. However, George revealed that this shared mission became a source of tension in their marriage. "I think sometimes when you're both focused on making a difference, it's easy to forget to make time for each other. The intensity of our work began to create distance between us, and eventually, that distance became too much." George's words revealed a level of vulnerability that fans have rarely seen from him. Despite the incredible life they built together, it seems that balancing their careers, their mission, and their personal relationship became an insurmountable challenge. One of the most poignant moments of the interview came when George was asked if he still loved Amal. His response was heart-wrenching. "I will always love Amal. You don't just fall out of love with someone like her. But sometimes, love isn't enough. We both tried, but in the end, we had to admit that we weren't the right match anymore." His admission that he will always love Amal was especially moving, given the public perception of his once flawless relationship. George's words brought a human element to their highly publicized divorce, showing the raw emotions behind the headlines. While the divorce is final, both George and Amal have continued to make their mark on the world in their respective fields. George has been focusing on his humanitarian efforts and his business ventures, while Amal continues her groundbreaking work as a human rights lawyer. Despite their split, it's clear that both of them remain committed to their causes and will continue to support each other's work from a distance. However, George's heartbreaking words show that he's not entirely ready to let go of the past. In fact, he confessed that he finds himself missing the days when they were a team, working toward a common goal. "I miss those times," George said, his voice soft. "There's a part of me that will always want to go back to that." Since the interview aired, fans around the world have flooded social media with messages of support for George. Many have expressed their admiration for his openness and vulnerability, with some even taking to Twitter to say how much they respect his honesty. On the other hand, Amal has largely kept her emotions under wraps, focusing on her career and staying out of the public eye. As for the future, the Clooneys remain committed to co-parenting their children. Despite their separation, both George and Amal have made it clear that they will always prioritize their family and their shared responsibility as parents. In fact, George even mentioned in the interview that being a father is the most rewarding role he's ever had, and that his focus moving forward will be on creating a stable and loving environment for his kids. And there you have it, folks. George Clooney's emotional breakup confession about Amal has truly touched the hearts of millions. It's clear that despite their divorce, the love and respect they shared is undeniable, and we can only hope that both George and Amal find the happiness they deserve in their individual journeys. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all things celebrity, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.